that mom guilt is real. Like, you know, if you had to like follow this hashtag on Instagram, it goes into 100,000s when it comes to the mom.
Okay.
And when, I mean, not throwing any shade at anyone at
Correct.
all, but there's a hashtag called dad guilt that barely exists. And I just want to tell everyone that it's real and it's okay.
Correct.
It exists.
Correct.
And the truth is, we all suffer from it.
Correct.
And the larger truth is, even doc doesn't have a cure.
So guys, we're back from Tears to Cheers, and today, like always, it gives me immense pride to introduce our guests. And the reason why it is because I've shared a journey with them. They're here just from the goodness of their heart to share their journey, to spread awareness, to make moms out there realize that it's not easy for anybody, no matter who you are, where you come from. It's all pretty much the same. So, without any further delay, I need not introduce her in any which ways. She has been around for a while. She is to the point when it comes to contributing to the society in form of her Instagram page, in form of what she contributes for a cause, freedom to feed, Neha Dhupia. Hi Neha, how are you?
I'm good, doc. Thank you. That was a fun introduction. Thank you very much for that.
It's an absolute pleasure, and sitting with you, I can actually tell everybody out there that it feels like I'm chatting with a friend. It feels like I'm going to have a beautiful heart-to-heart conversation, something that they can relate to, something that they'll take home, kind of, you know, a take-home message where they'll be, at the end of the conversation, stronger, happier, more confident, with an impression that anything's possible because you've done it.
Well, I hope so, you know, and I also feel like I must say this to you, and I feel that, you know, when it comes to social media or the digital world, you see so many other moms, you read about so many other conversations, or you see so many set of parents who are doing all this and much more. And even, I mean, it's not just from my side, but from everybody else's side as well, that I also get inspired on a daily basis. There's sometimes you wake up and as a parent, it's that one thing you need to hear, and you hear it from someone who seems to be inspiring all of us. So yeah, keep doing whatever you're doing.
There you go. I mean, you heard it from the boss. Don't give up. And we're going to start a lovely conversation. We're going to shoot some funny questions, some scary questions.
I'm scared.
With the funny ones. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And okay, the goal is, again, to give a lot of information out there, which is your journey. So should we start?
Absolutely.
All right. All right, Neha, what's the one thing a mom feels guilty about, that you feel guilty about, and how do you overcome it?
You know, doc, I have to say that mom guilt is real. Like, you know, if you had to like follow this hashtag on Instagram, it goes into 100,000s when it comes to the mom.
Okay.
And when, I mean, not throwing any shade at anyone at
Correct.
all, but there's a hashtag called dad guilt that barely exists. Now, I wonder why that happens, but you know, we're guilty. Like, I mean, I feel like all of us, you know, go through this. So we're guilty whether we go to work and we're leaving the kids behind. We're guilty whether we're with, you know, kids and we feel like, okay, somewhere we have to contribute to our jobs. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know, the one thing that we all have in common is I don't know any mom out there who doesn't suffer from mom guilt. And I just want to tell everyone that it's real and it's okay. But on a daily basis, you just have to get up and you've got to fight it. Like, you know, the one way that I fought it is the fact that sometimes when I was going to work, and Meher, my older one, and Gurik, our younger one, and you're going to hear a lot of their mentions in this
I'm sure,
conversation.
yes.
I wonder why, but you will. But you know, like, and then my daughter, one day when I was leaving for work, she's like, why are you going to work? And that's when I told her, I sat her down, I took those 5 minutes and I told her that Mama's going to work because this is what she likes to do. Yeah. And you know, I didn't want her to feel that I'm doing this for her or I'm doing this for anybody else, because what I do apart from even at home, but what I do even professionally is something I want to do for myself. Correct. And it's okay to have that much of self-love. It's okay to take that much time away from your children, and it's okay to go back with even more amount of love. I don't even know if that exists, but even more amount of love and attention. So, you know, you'll never be able to strike that fine balance. And if you have, please go ahead, write a book, tag me on Instagram, whatever, share profile. What is that? share and like and subscribe.
Correct.
Do whatever you have to. But there's no such thing. It's real. It exists. And the truth is, we all suffer from it.
Correct.
And the larger truth is, even doc doesn't have a cure.
Yes, so no. On that point, I'm going to actually side
Mom
with
guilt and hair fall. The
no
two
cure.
things.
Yes,
that
do
have
not
no cure.
fall for that. Do not fall for that. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have actually 2 points to add there when it comes
Yes.
to mom's guilt, and you added a point of dad's guilt. Dad's guilt, being
A dad.
a dad, is much lesser because we bank on mom's guilt. We know there is someone taking the onus, feeling sad about themselves, striking very hard to get that right recipe for the perfect balance of work, life, kids. For us, it becomes very easy. For us, the guilt just disappears because we know that that burden has been primarily taken by someone else.
I mean, it's sweet of you to actually,
No, we accept.
Accept it.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I feel more than sweet, it's brave of you to accept it.
I just feel it's a fact. Whether a father out there today accepts that, okay, you know what, I am able to do what I want from the day my baby is home because my wife's there taking that guilt on her and is going to continue to do it. It gives us a sort of a leeway, like a, more of a mental peace, putting our guilt burdens as a new father on the mothers as it builds. But that's when you inspire us. That's when the mothers, when we see our wives go through that kind of an ordeal, striking that balance, having good days, bad days, more bad than good, and say, you know what, I got to put in my 2 bits. I have to step up, I have to contribute, and your mom guilt sets our dad guilt on track. That's what it is.
I mean, okay, but not always. I agree with most of it.
We never quit trying.
I mean, I like the way you're speaking for everybody.
Correct.
I feel you're an exception.
No. There are people. Okay, so ones who have not realized it need to step up.
Yeah, I mean, you saying it will change things.
Thank you very much. Yes. All right, next question. Your biggest fear as a mom?
I think health, like, when my children's health dips, that's my biggest fear. Yeah. And it bothers me to no end, like, sleep schedule going for a toss, or them eating sugar, or, there are days that they want to do just what they want to do. Like this morning, my daughter just woke up and I was like, what would you like to do? And she was just like, I don't want to do anything. Maybe she's just feeling hot, or, these are warm, sunny days, or she was just like, I just want to be at home and I want to just spend time with my things and my people, and she wanted to just be around familiar things. I never judge on that, and it never worries me. But the one thing that worries me is just that moment where I feel like their health or their condition could be dipping because of, surroundings, something they picked up in the air. I'm fully freaked out about them injuring themselves.
But let me put 2 bits. From the time I know you, with Meher and Gurik, I think time has changed you. You think, and take your time. Your fear about their health has diminished over time, or you think that you have trained yourself to give it less importance as compared to what you used to give it?
No, so I have to agree with you. I don't give it less importance, but I definitely look at it very practically. For instance, the first time ever you gave this, subscribed this cough syrup for Meher, it was many years ago.
Correct,
and then,
I remember.
She threw up and I was like, what's going on? But now, because I've understood kids and a little bit of the way you've kind of taught me, and then, with my son, I wait for him to throw up because I'm like, hey, it's okay, the cough's coming out.
Correct.
So yeah, I look at it differently.
Correct.
But I don't and I still remember, this was many years ago, we'd gone to Maldives. Yes. And we'd only had Meher at that point, and she had a runny stomach suddenly one night, and I was like, we're on an island, it's raining, what if we have to take a flight, go to Mali, where will we find this? Where will we find a doctor and a facility? And I was freaked out, doc. Like, I was freaked out. I was looking at Angad, and he's like, do you staying up make a difference. I would like go every 2 minutes, look at her,
Correct.
be like, she's okay, coming back, and then I'd be like, let me check her diaper, and he's like, you're doing nothing. You're being counterproductive. You're only checking her diaper to wake her up. Let her be fine. Like, you know, it's a runny stomach. We'll solve it.
Correct.
And then I know for everything else, there's Enterogermina and
There you
hydration.
go. Brand endorsement,
you
right?
No. All right. For everything else,
There's a
we'll find
probiotic.
way.
Yes, there's a probiotic.
Sorry. For
Yeah.
everything else, there's a probiotic.
Correct,
and,
correct,
you know,
correct.
there's hydration, and we'll figure it out.
So exactly my point. What you were back, Neha there in
Yes.
Maldives, to Neha now at home.
Yeah.
Better?
Much better, much better. Like, you know, it's
There you
also,
go.
I mean, that time I was a mother just for 8 months, and
Correct.
now I've been a mother for 4.5 years and a mother of 2. So yeah, it's okay. Like, and I also picked the lesser of the two devils, in the sense that by that I mean, like, you know, if there is a larger situation and a smaller situation, I feel like, you know, let's address
The bigger picture.
The bigger picture. Let's figure out how this can get sorted, as opposed to, you know, the little things or.
But you also know that the set of fears are different, but they're never going to go away as they grow.
Oh.
I'm just
No one prepares you for that.
Correct,
It's like,
correct,
you know,
correct.
I always say I love them so much, and, you know, your heart is beating outside of your body, but that sensation of your heart beating outside your body is just so scary.
Correct.
But it's true. Like, you know, even now, I operate on like 50% brain capacity, because my brain, like 50% of it
Correct.
is just thinking of them all the time.
So Neha, even that's one of our main goals when parents come to us at the clinic, and they keep coming initially, and then they realize, we make them realize that confidence as a parent, building confidence as a parent is a #1 thing. If your child which your child is going to keep falling sick, if you don't change on how to handle it, it's going to keep getting worse. So once you realize there's nothing to worry, best case scenario, worst case scenario, and you're okay with both, you're happy with this, you're prepared for this, parental preparedness makes a parent stronger, makes you a better parent. And that's what I can see right there in front of me. Congratulations. It's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like I've you know, got a degree in that now.
Yes.
But no, not really. But I also think, Doc, you have to, as a parent, you know, you have to walk that mile to understand, you know, you have to sweat that mile out to know what it's like. Because as much as we go around telling a new parent ki, don't worry, ye kuch nahi hai. Like, I know mums who have just had babies, and I don't blame them, because I've been there, and they're like, no, my child is sniffling, so it's best if we, you know, keep the child away from this. And you as a doc at that point will pay the same amount of attention to a new mom and a newborn baby, because it's a first for them.
Correct.
But because I've been through it, and that's why I feel like there's a reason why they go to school at like 4.5, because when you don't need to email schools, like these colds and coughs, these common flus, they're like, you need to handle it at your own level. As a parent, if you think your kid can handle it, send them to school. As a parent, if you think your kid can't handle this, and, you know, giving medication and keeping the child home is better, or sending. And sometimes I feel like once I give that medication, and my child, because they bounce back really fast.
Correct.
So if I think my child is able enough to go to school the next day or the following afternoon or whatever, I'm okay sending them if they're not running a fever, because, you know, it's sometimes keeping them busy or occupied is also a good thing.
Extremely.
Yeah.
And I also feel that the only problem with our education society right now, we've grown, but we're not flexible enough.
What does that mean?
We still have those preset norms at this age, mother toddler, this age, preschool, this age, this school, has to be in the best school, has to be in a particular set curriculum. I'm not going to take names here.
Yeah, no, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I want
As in my please go ahead if you like.
I want every parent to go easy on their child
Yes.
when it comes to education. You know, learn your child rather than pushing your child to learn something somewhere where he or she may not be cut out for that particular structure. Some kids thrive on structure. Some kids really disintegrate in structure. So to understand which category your child belongs to, which space your child belongs to, structure the education of your child around that without holding benchmarks. This is what is best. My kid has to go abroad. My kid has to do this. And I think that's when I heard you say that, you know, I'm not very keen on sending let's say at 4.5 years, if my kid is not up to it, I'm going to hold on. At 2 years, if I feel the child is falling too sick and indoors is going to benefit, fine.
But you know, Doc, I totally agree with you. But I also think that parenting, you know, I feel like there's no manual you can refer to. And I always say this, that every child is blessed, or every kid is blessed with the best moms. Because, you know, as a mother, in fact, I'm going to rephrase that and say every kid is blessed with the best parents. Because as parents, we are trying to do our best in whatever's in our capacity and whatever we're aware of. So, but my advice, and nobody needs to take it, but I'm just speaking through my experience.
Yes.
We don't put our kids under any pressure.
Correct.
Everything in moderation is good.
Correct.
Be it chocolate, be it sort of, you know, schedules, be it, you know, even like a movie night or a late night. Like in our house, if the next day is school, of course there's bedtime.
Yes.
But Friday and Saturday, we go easy on bedtime, and it's a very relaxed routine.
Right.
Because, you know, it's okay. Like, it's not like as soon as the kid gets up and we're pushing them to go here or pushing them to go to this class. And I feel like they have their entire lives. Like, you know, my daughter's 4.5, my son's like 20 months old.
Correct.
And we just want to live kind of in this little cave or cocoon which is built on like love and happiness and no sort of performance pressure whatsoever. But those are the kind of parents Anga than I are.
So you're making a safe haven for your children. You know, when they grow up, you know, we as children get a feeling we have a bad day. Where do we want to go? Back home. Now there is a stage because of this, what we call a structured parenting and strict disciplinarian approach. I know kids who on a bad day don't want to go home, which is a very scary thing. So please, we should not create like what you and Angad have done. It's a beautiful cocoon, and I love the word because it itself sounds so warm. And you want your children that, okay, you know what, we're creating this for you. It's going to be there for you. You're out there in the real world when you grow up. You're having a bad day at school. You have this place to come back to. So, and that, the most beautiful thing here is moderation, what you said.
Yeah.
Even Buddha says it, the middle path. Give a little bit of everything. Plus, you will also give them the opportunity to decide for themselves.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's how I've been raised. And my dad would always say this, everything in moderation. Like, I still remember that when I was preparing for Miss India many years ago, and I was just like, no carb. And he was like, everything, even sugar and sweet and carbs in moderation is great. You don't need to do this.
Absolutely.
And, you know, don't beat yourself up about it. But that's, I mean, we raise our kids like that. But the one thing that's a no-go, and for me, the biggest red flag as a parent ever, is comparison. So like, don't compare your kids to anyone. I mean, I'm saying that if you're in a room where there's a possibility of another person or parent comparing your kid to you know, another kid, I mean, that should be your cue to exit. That's my piece of advice. At least for me it is. Like, I mean, I've been in a situation where there was a little bit of comparison. And, you know, that situation never arose again because as a parent, I pulled the plug on that, you know, and saying that this is not going to happen. But that for me is the biggest red flag.
So golden words, guys. We've been screaming on top of our lungs, even when it comes to weight, food. My child doesn't eat like the neighbor's child. My child doesn't grow like the neighbor's child. Beautiful, right in front of you. Enjoy it the way you have it. You're doing a great job. Next question, Neha. One thing that people think about motherhood that is an absolute myth.
Oh my God, really? That we handle it so well.
That we have it in place. That we
have it in place. Or like, you know, she's managed it and she manages her life and her work. No, I'm a mess from morning to night. You know, I mean, like, literally, if I've managed to drape a sari and reach here and you know, if my hair and my clothes stay intact before we finish the interview, it's a big one because I just know, you know, you're always walking on eggshells. You're always like, okay, will this happen? Will this not happen? Have I got this in place? And you know, there are 100 things that are going on in your head. And just when you think that you've got the entire day planned out, all hell breaks loose. Yeah, it's
so, guys, even Neha doesn't have it in place. So you can be now just relaxing, chilling, and knowing that even a person like Neha, who has so much going on for her, is still not sure what's going to happen next when it comes to being a parent.
Not at all, not at all. Like I still remember I was in the middle of a live interview once. It
Correct.
was my daughter's first day at school, and we went, I dropped her, went straight on set, and I can't remember who it was, but I think it was, there was Faye and there was Twinkle Khanna and there was somebody else, and we were doing something, some brand activity, and I had my watch on, and I saw like the school called me. Doc, you have no idea where my head went. Like, you have no idea. And then I was just like, what? And I called, and then they told me something, and then I was like, is she okay? And they were like, yeah, she's okay.
So something as small as this.
Something as small as this. She was just like, they were just like, she just
Correct.
wants to hear your voice.
Correct. And you are amongst people who people would kill to be around and just...
No, paused everything.
Correct.
I was just like, this
There you
has to stop. I need to, because you don't, your brain goes into like this, you know, it gets fuzzy because your head is going into 5 million places. Also, I mean, don't go straight from 0 to 100 as a parent. I have a tendency of doing that. I'm confessing this, or you know, on your show. But I'm like, you know, if there's a missed call from a parent, if she's gone for a play date or something, maybe my son's too young, he doesn't go. But I'm like, oh my God, what happened? They're like, no, nothing. She just wants to have like cheese dosa. Is she allowed like cheese? I'm like, yeah.
But with time, I mean, the alarm doesn't go off that loud.
I don't know. I don't think the fruit falls too far from the tree. My mother still stays awake. I could be in Bombay shooting, and till the time I'm not home, she's like, message me when you get home, and I message her, and then she's like, okay, good night.
So Angad may not be waiting, but
Mom is.
Correct.
Yeah.
There you go. So Neha, next question. It's like got 2 parts to it.
Okay.
One word that describes your personality as a parent, and one word that describes Angad's personality as a parent, but you can have 1 or 2 words, a little leeway there.
Okay. Personality, or like what kind of
approach or whatever as a parent?
Okay, so mine would be, I'd like to believe, balanced and honest.
Okay.
Because I just can't, I'm not the kind of person who'd be like, you know, I don't show like treats to my kids and be like, hey, if you have this, and I mean, let's address it. Like, whatever the issue is, we address it. And it's not like, if you go to school, you'll come back and get a unicorn cupcake. None of that.
Not happening.
Got to go to school because you got to go to school. You know,
Correct.
But she doesn't need any forcing. My son still, I think he understands everything we say, but he just, after listening, he'll keep looking up and listening, and just when you think he's going to like do something cool, he walks away. So
fancy.
Yeah,
good attitude.
Good attitude.
Yeah,
Angad would like to believe it's his, but then I'll give it to him. And Angad would be more. I'd like to believe relaxed, because even if there's, you know, God forbid, an adversity or something, he's always the more like chill person in any situation.
So is it safer to say that he may even play a role in calming you down?
Yes, 100%.
When you are really
like I get, for me it's just I get fully freaked out about kids' timings, not mine that much, but the kids, and I get fully freaked out about a health situation for sure. So yeah, he'd like, for him I'd have to say more, what did I say?
Calming effect.
Yeah.
Chiller in today's day and age.
Chill and friendly, because the kids are like, you know, he's a magnet. Like when as soon as the door opens and if it's him,
it's all in.
I've lost them for those 3 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, retrospectively looking, you've got yourself for 3 hours after that.
Yes, but then it's always like, but why aren't they coming to me? Because he's just like, you know, he gives them. So my son is fully into Bhangra music.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, he loves like, what is that guy's name? Can you help me? What is it? Karan Ojla.
His music?
His music. Can someone Google? Huh? Ojla.
Ojla.
Karan Ojla, right?
Yeah?
My son loves Diljit Dosanjh.
Very nice.
His taste in music is Parmish, Karan Ojla, so very Punjabi.
Punjabi, yeah. But you have Punjabi, both of you are Punjabi.
Yeah, yes, we're both, you know, Punjabi and we're Sardars. And so, and my daughter on the other hand has, you know, she's very pop culture kind of music.
Very nice.
But there's no, like everything goes on in the house. And, you know, there could be many mornings where there's 2 hours of dancing. And
You guys, you and Angad pitch in?
Angad 100%. Me, I'm just like, if you can't like beat them, join them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's what it
it
is.
starts
It's a
at
gag
like
against you,
9:30
yeah.
in the morning, and then I'm just like, okay, it's going to stop, and I'm like, breakfast, and then it's still.
It's
And
going
I'm like,
on.
what's going on in this house?
Yes.
So those are the kind of parents we are. And then
It's a party
finally they'll
house.
be like, suddenly look at me at like 12 in the afternoon saying we're so hungry. So like I said, there are
Correct.
days we don't have a
Correct.
schedule,
Correct.
like a Saturday,
Correct.
because they have to do their own thing. But yeah, bedtime has to be scheduled.
Correct.
Luckily for me, I think my daughter gets that habit from me. Like I never eat food from outside.
Oh, you don't?
No, and
Revelation, guys, right here.
I carry my
Wow.
dabba everywhere.
Yeah.
So she also loves doing that. She
Yeah.
carries her dabba and maybe she's seen me do it or whatever. So that's not
You're
an
leading
issue.
by example, practicing what you preach.
Yeah, but she's a fussy eater and it's fine. She'll
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
it out. Yeah, she'll
All right,
figure it out.
on that note, just to complete this part of the question, how do you and Angad balance parenting with such busy schedules? Now, offline we just spoke about the shoots and all. You guys draw up a schedule or how does it work? When
No,
you're
we never
balancing?
say no to work that we want to
Correct,
do because we're
correct,
working, it's more out of what we do and we're very passionate about our jobs and, I mean, I feel that Angad's striving for multiple things and so am I and the hustle should never die, no matter what happens.
That's who you are.
And those are the people we are.
Correct.
So, and one way or the other, we kind of manage it. And I feel, Doc, for everything else, to raise kids and to be able to go to work, you need to have a huge amount of support staff, never shy away. And I just feel like behind every working woman, there are many working women.
Correct.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, and then it's very important to be okay with that. It's okay to like say that, hey, sometimes when you have a long schedule or if you're on set and it's taking time, I mean, I don't want to be that kind of actor on set who's like, hey, I need to go back home because my kid needs to be, read a storybook. So either Angad's going to do it. If he's also on set, then, there's support staff that does it. But I feel like nothing should break the need of each one of us because we need to like, fit those pieces of the puzzle on our own.
I think in our Indian society, there is no shame in attributing to the fact that we need people around us to help nurture our kids. They come up with values knowing that there are people, multiple people involved, maybe maids, maybe nannies, maybe uncles, aunties, grandparents, even sometimes neighbors.
Yeah.
They put in their 2 bits. It's a brilliant society. This is what sets us aside from the West. There are multiple advantages to this structure.
Yes.
And I think we should take immense pride in having this structure around us.
Yeah, and there's so much comfort having children or raising children in an environment where you have multiple people who help you raise them because they pick up and imbibe so many great qualities
Correct.
from each one of
Correct.
them. And there's a huge contribution that my mom has as far as raising Meher is concerned, or my dad has because he spends so much time with Gorek and he's done so much parent-toddler time with him while
Correct.
I was busy. We kind of moved 2 homes in the year. We went somewhere and then we came back and then we went somewhere else. So, there were multiple things happening in my life and they were there. And I feel that they only get nourished in many
Absolutely.
different ways.
Absolutely.
And you just need to have faith in the process.
Yes.
Because if you don't have faith in the process, then it's not possible.
Absolute gospel truth. Having faith in the process that we are currently in and actually respecting and giving due credit to people around.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. Okay. How do you deal with unsolicited advice, knowing the personality? You're quite
What does that mean?
means you're in your face, I'm going to say nothing but the truth. You know how they put their hand on the little book in the court.
Yeah.
You're never kind of sprinkling soft words. You're always saying the truth as it is.
Yeah.
You see it the way. So this is this is going to be an amazing question to you. How do you deal with unsolicited advice that everyone or anyone around you is constantly giving you about your parenting skills or you as a parent?
Doc, I've been in a business where everybody always is giving you advice about
Correct.
multiple things
Correct.
and, people have an opinion about you.
Yes.
So you need to learn how to cut that noise out. And I feel like that's the biggest virtue about having kids late in life because by then you become your own person and you don't need anyone else to tell you what's going on. The first time around, of course, people were saying that, you know, aisa hoga to aisa hoga, aisa karna chahiye, aisa karna chahiye. The second time around, I was just like, oh my God, I can't. Like, and I just have, like, I'll show you my face. I have a face that looks very interested, but I'm technically not listening to anyone. So my face is this.
So poker face. Yes. Okay,
but in my head, I'm just like, oh, gaadi aayi, niche pe kaise rakh lu? What's my cue? When is this person going to pause? And I'm like, I promise you, I've got parenting advice from people who are grandparents. Generations have changed, which is great advice you can take. But, you know, given the current circumstances and the way we want to raise our children, but I've also got parenting advice from people who are not parents. So you're like, what?
Where did that come from? Absolutely. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But have you ever lost it on somebody? Because I have parents who actually have taken charge of a particular situation and told that particular person to back off if it's going to decrease your confidence as a parent by that constant hammering, jabbering. And I encourage every parent to do it. That if you are confident in a particular way, if you are happy with your practices, you've seen results and you have faith in it, I think nobody has the right to put you down for your parenting style.
I've not lost it on anyone, but I was very uncomfortable and when, you know, my children were being compared to another set of kids.
Correct.
And that's the one time that, you know, I had to excuse myself. So
you walk away. You're very graceful then.
I'm not graceful as much as I'm not nice when I don't want to be nice. So I don't want people to see that side.
Okay.
Unless I'm getting paid for it. Because I've been on television when I'm not nice.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
and
people
do pay to watch it that way. So yes.
No.
Okay. Neha as a mom or Neha as an actor? What's more challenging?
Very good question. But I mean, I have as much fun doing both.
Correct.
And I have, I give my 100% in both places. But yes, I'd say that being a mum is a little more challenging.
Correct.
Because here I have only 4.5 years of experience, but as an actor I have 21 years of experience. So I feel like, you know, I can handle it.
So you're going to be much better with your grandchildren.
Well, I don't know yet, but yeah, I'm hoping.
By the time you'll have 25 years.
Yeah, I would have, yeah.
Great answer, yes. Okay. Now, last question before we go to the rapid fire. What's the one strict rule you have at home for your kids? Strict, not rule, a strict rule that they know if mom implies it, it's not going to be well for the next few hours.
Wow.
Or let's put it the other, one thing that your children fear you at home for.
They don't fear me, but if I see something going overboard, I pull the plug on it.
So you have a face where they say, okay, now mom's going into that zone.
No, I have a thing I do. I'm like, that's it, done.
That's it, done.
Yeah, that's what I do.
There you go.
I do that a lot. I'm like, suddenly I'm like, okay, you eat one chocolate, it's fine.
Correct.
But then you like 4 chocolates,
Correct.
or I want to write on the chalkboard. So we have a wall which
Right.
I've given the chalk texture, so they can just write on over.
Just scribble.
Just do whatever you want. So it's got that chalk texture. You keep
Correct.
rubbing it, and they know that it's like. So last night, my daughter just kept writing, and then she was just like, there was no chalk left. We had that much chalk, but there was like no chalk left. Or like, you know, or eating food, and now she's started doing cartwheels. So like, before food, she does cartwheels, eats food, and it's not humanly possible.
Correct.
And then there are cartwheels. I showed you.
Yes, I
videos.
saw her. She's a gymnast.
Yeah, she just goes on and on
Right.
and on. So then I just look at her and then I'm like, meh, because she's doing cartwheels and I can't stop her. But whatever she's doing.
Correct.
So or with Gurik also, I'm like,
Correct.
that's it, done.
Correct. And that's not for the show yet. So.
No. So
okay.
then, yeah.
There you go. So
And
once they hear that, then, okay, they stop.
No, I just take them in my godi and bus that. We're not negotiating because there's no point negotiating with them.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Brilliant answer. All right, Neha, last part of the show. Exciting, not that scary.
No. Talking to you is quite scary otherwise.
At the clinic.
Yeah.
Because I spend a lot of time talking to you.
Yeah.
It's usually that way. At the clinic, we're mostly talking to the mother. First 5 minutes is understanding. Sometimes first 2 minutes is trying to understand because they're sobbing, so we need to calm them down. Then we understand. And then in the meantime, you know, it's a very funny thing. We're hearing the mother talk and dad is in the background who comes because he's been dragged. It's nothing. So there's a lot going on in the clinic.
How many times have you seen Angad in the clinic?
He's not come yet.
Once.
He came.
Once,
Once he came. He did come. Yes, he did. Yes, you came once. Okay. So, quick shoot of questions.
Yes.
Okay. Between you and Angad, the one who never says never.
You know, never says never. Oh my God, this is like super easy. Angad, he never says never. I'm just like, you know, what's going on? But yeah, but I have to give it to him. But the one time he says never, then there's no negotiation after that.
Usually with dad, no, it's that only. With all the dads, even with my dad, they never talk, they never scold, they never scream. But once it comes out, you'll remember it lifelong. Arey, when I was in the 4th grade, you had hit me once.
No.
He doesn't do anymore. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff doesn't exist
It doesn't
anymore,
exist
yeah.
anymore. It shouldn't as well. Okay, next question. The one who Googles all the symptoms.
I don't. I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. I don't know if Angad does, but I don't because, I mean, oh my God, I'm already, you know, in my head, I'm already like going from 0 to 100 and we had this chat. So imagine if from 100 I go to like 100,000 after being on Google.
But you may be the first mother I think I have ever met or spoken to who does not Google. So hats off.
Really?
If you can restrict yourself for whatever reason maybe, brilliant job.
No, I do it for my own sanity. I don't Google. I never Google anything. Like I just can't because if you say cold cough and then it could be this versus it could be, oh, I can't. Oh my God, my head's not a nice place.
And adding to that, I'm going to tell every mother that if they Google fever in their child today, in the 4th or 5th number, if I am not wrong, will be leukemia and cancer. So that's how misleading Google can be. It's used for the right reasons and every parent should, but with limitation in teamwork with your pediatrician. What's okay to Google, what's not.
No, I feel like we have experts. You all have spent way too much time in universities and educating yourself.
Thank you so much.
So please do your job and I will do what is not my job, which is not going to be on Google. Oh my God, I can't.
So we have to keep this on repeat when we put this out there. I want every parent to hear this.
No, I don't Google anything when it comes to medication, not even the ml. Like, you know how you have weight-wise, you're supposed to give 7.5 of Calpol and all of that. I don't even Google that. Like, I go with what is subscribed.
Brilliant, brilliant. You made my life a lot easier.
Really?
Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much.
And my own, I would imagine.
Okay, a tricky question now.
Oh.
Yes. Who's the sugar daddy between you and Angad?
A sugar daddy as in the one who buys everything and the one who gives sugar, like that, I would imagine. Okay,
Yes.
fun.
It's an under 18 show here, so.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, no sort of, I'm thinking in my head, so when was the last time that Angad wasn't the sugar daddy? I mean, he's just everything.
No wonder they run to him when he comes in.
I mean, like, he's just like, my daughter went the other day to watch, which is that film that came out? Please help me. Which was the Avengers film that came out just now?
Spider-Man.
Huh? Guardians. My
yes.
daughter went the other day to watch Guardians of the Galaxy, and then suddenly she's like, I'm like, how's it going? And she's like, I got my purple unicorn. I'm like, what? Did you go into the theater or not? They went in for a bit. Then he thought that it's a great plan because he's going to sit with her for 3 hours and watch this movie. And he came back and I'm like, why are you looking like this? It's like, she only spoke about popcorn and then she spoke about a unicorn. And I was just like, okay, fine.
So this is our little secret as dads. We are very happy that you don't give sugar to children because it gives us that little extra edge over you. Just to gain that super control. Secret, guys, remember that?
Yeah, but our kids, I mean, we're okay giving our kids sugar. There's nothing wrong with it. And
no, the most amazing part about you and Angad is A, the balance, and the second is the moderation. You're super cool about doing everything in limits. And I think that is a true secret to happy parenting.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to believe that. And then I feel like, I don't know if but I'm, you know, when it comes to morals and values, I have very large expectations out of myself, out of people that they are surrounded by, out of my own children. So whether it's using your magic words and, you know, being nice to people, those things I have a very large kind of, you know, I'm a stickler for that.
Correct.
But like things like chocolate and flexible bedtime, or, you know, once in a while if your kid's throwing a tantrum, I feel like it's okay to lap it up, doc, it's going to go. I mean, I see her and then suddenly she's like, you know, this morning she's like, she did something and she was crying, and it was so cute because it was so fake.
Correct.
And like she suddenly thought of this one toy, which in the shifting, we were shifting homes, and she just, I don't know where, she's like, I want my squeezy, pulley, rubber, slime feeling unicorn. To me, it was like, and in my head I felt so bad because I saw it 4 times and I'm like,
This?
No, she'll never ask for it. Cut to 4 months later, she's asked for it. When she's like, I don't want to go to school, then nobody's looking at her. That's when I'm just like, oh my God, it's so cute. I want to play along. It's
Enjoy till it lasts.
Yeah.
Enjoy till it lasts.
Another 2 years, I won't be able to grab her in my arms and carry her in my lap, and I don't want to give up on all that.
And 2 years after that, she won't want to be at home. She will want to be at a friend's house.
To which my poor husband is always like, मैं हर जगह चले जाऊँगा उसके साथ. I'm like, हाँ वो रखेगी तुम्हें.
वो पीछे फिर वो पापराजी भी घूमते रहेंगे पूरी रात हर पार्टी में.
Papa and paparazzi.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, the one who texts me at 2 a.m.
Oh my God, me.
I can vouch for that.
But you know, I'll tell you, sometimes he tells me to text you. Yeah.
Little secret.
Yeah. So it's not always like me like saying, hey, but I don't know if this is common knowledge, but he's actually okay jumping onto medication sooner than I am. Like, I always give it time. I'm like, let's wait a bit. But he's like, okay, no, let's just figure it out. And
so that comes with a little bit of impatience from the male side. I second on that, because many a times when I get calls in the middle of the night at 2 and 3, I can literally hear the father behind telling the mother what to ask me, where I have to intervene and say, Mom, just give dad the phone, it's easier that way. Because both are fighting. I asked you to ask him this and he said this, and so you know what, just give him the phone, let me talk. So there are dads who don't want to take the onus of calling the doctor and have the mother do it, but they are a little bit impatient in early medicating, in calling early, which is fine, but that's who the dad is.
Yeah, but that 2 a.m. message is always me. Like, I'm just like, the minute the cough gets too much, or if I feel like she's warm, I stretch and I know that I can message.
Correct.
Yeah.
Second last question. Who practices what they preach? Leads by example.
उसका तो मतलब मुझे मालूम है, practice what they preach. I'm just thinking. Now the thing is that if I say me, then it's not right. If I say Angad, then it's not true. So I don't know what to say here.
So I'll give you an example. Give me who does this. Tells the children not to have enough screen time, and the minute that little bhashan is over, themselves.
No, Angad doesn't go on the phone. Like, we're not like so much on the phone, because I'm like either speaking to my manager or ordering groceries, or I don't have a third thing to do on the phone. But that also takes a lot, many hours of our day. But I've seen many times, like, I'll get up in the morning, go for my training, come back, and he trains in the evening, and the kids are like, see, there was no trouble, nothing happened, didn't do anything. And I'm like, what do you do? Nothing, just watch Lion King. And I'm like, but that's 2 hours.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yes,
he's like, it's so nice, it's so peaceful without you and all that.
But then you know how he's doing.
Yeah, because I'm like, let's do something, motor skills, activities, drawing, ye, wo.
So what happens is, even what we've realized is, parents preaching certain things is okay if they're not following it, because for that age, you have to lay down certain rules that have to be followed. Age appropriate rules, telling them that it's okay for us to do this, when you reach our age, it's okay for you to do this. So I think that's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for instance, I also think that there should be for Angad and me, the one thing we have in common is almost like there's zen out time in our house. Like, let's just do it's nothing. If they want to run around, up, down, do whatever they want.
The cocoon.
Yeah, it's the cocoon, right? We don't, everything is not scheduled, everything is not classes, everything is not timing. And A lot of it is. But the 20% that is not, it's just like, you know, have to go to the park in the evenings. You don't have to be like, you know, cooped up indoors or going from one place to another. And, you know, play dates are great, but at the same time, spending time, you know, just with yourself and figuring out things that are lying around. They become very creative, they become very independent, they become very self-sufficient, they figure it out. And that's what I think.
I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing. And I just want to actually take this moment to congratulate, because, you know, me in my profession, I go through a lot of different parenting styles.
Yeah.
It comes off in my clinic when they come with the baby. I can sense the tension between the mother-father, the conflict in the parenting styles where I said to do this, but you did this, and that's why this happened. But I must compliment you and Angad, because I think you all have, I wouldn't say, I can't say crack the code, because then you will get like, you know, out there status, like godly platform.
No.
But you're pretty close.
Wow,
I love
this.
You know, I'll tell you why. I love the unstructured approach, and this is again my personal favorite. I love go with the flow. I love moderation. I love not being clinging to benchmarks and what this is strongly recommended. But in the same time, through your personal practice of individual sort of taking control of your personal situation, you are at a very subtle level putting that independence in them at a very young age.
I mean, wow, it's a big compliment coming from you, Doc. But I also think that one thing that we do actually take a little bit of extra time doing with them is sport. Correct. Because he comes from a sport background. Correct. You know, my dad was in the forces. For me, I've always played sport. Correct. And I feel like sport at a larger level, more than anything else, it teaches you so much. Success, failure, sportsmanship, camaraderie, all of these things. It makes you athletic. It's so good for you. So yes, the evening time, sometimes there's a lot of like emphasis on sport. My daughter's into gymnastics. My son's really young, but he loves to like, you know, kick the ball. So he's like doing sweet things.
Such amazing things, because I think over time, there are two extremes. Parents who are staying away from sports.
Why is that?
Because they think sporting now is only important if it's taken as a career down the road.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay, maybe for them.
And there are parents who say, you know what, I want my child to take up sports only for one reason, that आगे जाके इंडिया के लिए खेलेगा, आगे जाके. So the middle part of sports for fun, it's being lost. I think parents like you put that into perspective, that sports is not just, it teaches you so much what you mentioned.
Yeah, no, but a lot of that is also Angad, because, you know, I mean, my father-in-law, of course, played for India. Correct. And Angad kind of played, you know, at a much higher, like, you know, he played at a high competitive level.
Yes, yes.
But then he became an actor.
Yes.
But he literally till today just reaching set on time, being nice to everyone, knowing how to be a team player, understanding success, failure, which is very important in this business. He gives all of that credit to sport. Correct. So and I feel, and fitness. I mean, for us every day, like what are we doing to work out, to accelerate that, stay fit? These things are important for us. And yes, healthy, balanced diet, but there are days that my daughter goes for gymnastics and she comes back and she's like, I want something sweet to eat, and you know, the option is there for her.
Flexible, brilliant, absolutely.
Trying.
Last question. Who checks the nanny cam all the time?
Phone dena mera. Yeah.
All right, Neha.
Thank you very much, Doc.
It's been absolutely brilliant. I think you have no clue how easy you made my life as a pediatrician. How easy you made life for so many mothers out there, because it's Neha Dhupia who is still unsure of being a parent, of doing what's best for their child. So there's no way you can cling on to that idea, and she's still doing an amazing job at it.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to say this to every parent out there. There's no manual, there's no book, and if there is, that exists, you're writing it every day with your own experiences. So take notes, understand from your mistakes, and honestly, there are no mistakes, because as parents, we want to be the best versions of ourselves for our children. But while doing that, don't lose yourself. Love yourself enough, because that's the only way you can get better for them every day.
Gospel truth. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And
hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, Please like, share, and subscribe so it gives us the energy to do more.